Unbelievable, unbelievable.
Well, welcome everybody to MLB Speaks. We got a great talk for you today. Myself, along with my wife, Nell. We want you to do us a favor. Call a friend, let them know, share, like, and post this talk, and sit back and enjoy. Hey, Nell, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you, hon?
I am doing fantastic. You know, one of the wonderful things as we continue in that series for 2022, and that is the Jurassic Park of relationships. Once again, that's right, them dinosaurs. So today we want to explore what it might look like if you and your spouse begin to grow apart. And that can happen in a relationship, right?
Yeah, it can happen. You know, you find yourself spending less time together.
Exactly. And we have to make it a point to spend time together. You know, when you think about what you just said, you find yourself spending less time together. You used to be a real stickler about having a dinner together 7 days, 2 days, 3 days a week. But you notice that lately that number has dropped to only like 3 or 4 times a week or once a week. And normally you would do that. Sometimes you will go, hey, I'm going to meet you home, honey, and I'm going to prepare dinner, right?
Right. So it's kind of like when you get that little small drip
in a faucet.
Yeah.
Drip.
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 And you don't take care of it. And you have to call the plumber. The plumber is very important because I remember the time when we had a drip. Well, it wasn't a drip. It was more like a little pour. And we was like, why is our water bill so high? And we realized that the toilet was running in the middle of the night. You know, we go, shh, like somebody. I was like, what are the kids flushing the toilet? 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning.
And realized it was doing it on its own.
The toilet. And realized it was bigger than the flapper, and which is a problem that I can handle. But we actually had to call the plumber. And they had to rip out the old toilet because there was a problem with the tank. There was a problem with the piping in the basement. And we had to address the problem. And drips, problems are like you just said earlier, right, Nell?
Yeah, like little drips, but you have to address the problem, because if you don't address the problem, then that problem will get bigger,
and then you have water everywhere. You have to realize that, you know, you lack the knowledge about what your spouse is currently interested in. And you know, when I say that, basically meaning it's like drips happen slowly, and you got to say, what is my spouse actually interested in? And like, if you see somebody moving back, like I'm close to the mic now, then I move back. And you one thing we say, we got to fight for your marriage, and not physically fist fight, but you got to fight for your marriage to the point not allowing other people and things to come first. And that's important, that your spouse comes first.
It's very important, because if you don't allow your spouse to be first, then you allow those other things to come in, and then that hinder a relationship, because it's taking the place of your spouse, or is taking those things that your spouse used to do. So you can't have those type of things that come in and take the place of your spouse.
That's right. So the second thing, I want to go back to what we were talking about earlier. It's a thought that came to my head, and that is you realize you lack knowledge about what your spouse is currently interested in. Remember, we're exploring what it might look like if you and your spouse begins to grow apart. And that second part is you realize that you lack knowledge about what your spouse is currently interested in. Basically, what that means is you used to know when your partner purchased new sports equipment, you know, or new item, when it was reading a book by a new author, or has been getting acquainted to something with new neighbors or whatever it may be. And now you have no knowledge of that. Like, you don't even know what your spouse is doing, like what their interests are. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you right now, I know my wife loves some jewelry. I know she loves some clothes.
too.
She loves some clothes. I know that her favorite color is brown. We down. Listen, if our family had one color, we'd be the Browns. We'd be like, meet the Browns. No, we're the Bears. No, meet the Browns. Because everything she would buy is brown.
I love earth tones.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. So, you have to ask yourself, do I know what my spouse's interests are? Because you want to explore what it looks like. When you begin to see that you begin to growing apart, if you don't know what your spouse's interests are, it don't have to be like something expensive, right?
Not at all. Case in point, I'm sure there are some ladies out there who probably don't enjoy football, but right now it's playoff time. And you know what? To be a part of your husband, to get into his world, sit there. You may not quite understand the game, but guess what? You're there with your spouse enjoying something that he enjoyed. And you know what? He's shouting for his team, and you're looking like, okay, it's time to shout, but
just don't rail field goal.
Well, yeah, don't do that. But
just don't rail. Oh no, I'm saying not field goal. Just don't yell. You ready? Home run. It's a football game.
It's a football game. But you understand what I'm saying. Basically, get into his world, do the things that he enjoyed doing, and vice versa.
That's right. And I think it's important, that we understand the interests, like Nell, you just said, Nell, of our spouse. And with that being said, we want to make sure that you guys are getting something out of this. So this is what we want you to do. Okay. We want you to, if you haven't liked us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, we want you to do us a favor and do that today. Also, to learn more about who we are and what we do, feel free to visit our website,
www.mlbspeaks.com.
That's right. www.mlbspeaks.com. And we got some great news too, right? And that is our radios program. Outside of these, weekly talks, we're going to be on a radio program, which will be more announced later on in the coming weeks, Power 103. And we're excited about that. And stay tuned for more detailed information. That's going to be a half-hour weekly radio program, and we're excited about that.
We're super excited about that.
Because it's going to allow us to reach more couples, more people with this message of hope in their marriage.
And we just want you guys to know that MLB Speak, we're not just words.
That's right. That's right. And I guess we want to say one last thing that just hit my mind.
And what's that?
And that is, everyone who has requested, we put out on social media in the past week a couples worksheet. And we know quite a few of you all actually requested it, and we responded to that. So if you say to yourself, I'm a couple, we're engaged, we've been married for 20 years, 30 years, 5 years. We're not even engaged. We're just dating. And you want to see what it looks like, a married couple from a Christian perspective, what some of the things that you need to learn to go through. You could also request that couples worksheet. Feel free, send us a message, go on our website, just put in there couples worksheet. We'll get it right out to you. It is no cost. It's a resource that we've located, and we want to make sure that couples can go through that worksheet. We went through the worksheet ourselves.
We did go through that same worksheet.
That's right. We always tell people, we're not asking you to do something
that we're not doing.
And just like a car, we get tune-ups.
We get tune-up too.
Tell me about that.
We get a tune-up.
Got to get them oil changes.
That filter too.
That's right. So with that being said, hey, I'm Martin.
And I'm Nell.
And we want to say thank you for tuning in and listening to this talk today.